Let's be on the lookout for what's happening in Glasgow too. I did mention there that, look, it seems like already the Glasgow deal might be falling over, but have a look at some of the people who are turning up there. Here's Greta Thunberg, fated.
This is not right. Come on, come on, get out of here. Oh, get out. Give us some space. Give us some space. This is not right. You know this is not right. Give us some space.
Yeah, that's Greta Thunberg turning up in Glasgow. It's like the Bay City Rollers or the Beatlemania or whatever. And another bloke was there, a little older than Greta. He spoke to the gathering. Have a listen to what our future king had to say.
It is also impossible not to hear the despairing voices of young people who see you, ladies and gentlemen, as the stewards of the planet, holding the viability of their future in your hands. And I've listened to those leaders of the private sector who are now more and more anxious to invest in the projects and new technologies that could establish a more rapid transition to sustainability.
Tim, I just need you to explain to me what's going on here, right? I thought this is an issue about science and economics and policy, and we've got a teenage rock star and some prince telling us what we should do.
Yeah, so when one flies into Glasgow in one's private jet, one is obviously very entitled to speak about issues such as emissions. God, he's creepy. Like, go back talking to trees and pretending you're a tampon. Do something at least to make us laugh. These people are ridiculous clowns. I mean, the stats out of Glasgow are amazing. 30,000 delegates. They're going to generate more emissions than your average Scottish town in a whole year, and they're going to do that in 13 days. Look at these. They're throwing coins in fountains now for climate luck.
That was when they were in Rome at the G20. That's the Trevi Fountain in Rome. And actually, of course, among this crew in Rome and now heading to Glasgow is the US President Joe Biden. And he's been caught out again with his own little cheat sheet. At the podium, he has a cheat sheet with the names of journalists and their photos there, so he can sort of put the two things together and an order. Who's going to ask the questions about what? I mean, this is just extraordinary media management and visual prompting for not the sharpest man in the room.
I love the way he gives it up every time when he says, I've been told that I've got to ask the person from Associated Press first. So if you were that person from Associated Press, wouldn't you just on the fly change your question to who told you? You know, who is the real president? If you're being told to do something, most powerful human being on earth, if you're being told to do something and you're obeying that person, well, they're obviously a higher authority. We want to know who that person is, and you can shuffle off, Joe. We'll get the real person in.
That's what we need to do. We need to find out who that person is who's running Joe Biden and therefore the free world. Thanks for joining us, Tim. Appreciate your time.
Mate, always a pleasure. And see you next week, I suppose.